Well, I think it's about time we talk about Modern Warfare 2. And when I say Modern Warfare 2, I'm really just talking about multiplayer, but isn't everybody else also? But regardless, though, I want to answer a question of, is this game any good? And if I'm being completely honest with you guys, going into this game, I thought the answer was going to be really easy, and what that was going to be was absolutely not. I thought it was going to suck, in fact, and I personally think I had some good reasons for this. I mean, I hated Modern Warfare 2019, and it seemed like a lot of the same things from that game was going to continue to persist into this game. But here we are about a week into this game being out, and does it suck? Well, no, actually, and in fact, I've been having a lot of fun playing this game, in fact, and I think the overall experience I've had has just been overwhelmingly good, and that is the absolute opposite of what I expected going into this game. And that got me thinking, like, why do I actually have so much fun with this game when I absolutely dreaded my experience playing Modern Warfare 2019? Because as I said, like, a lot of the problems I had with that game still exist in this game, whether it be like the spawn system, the minimap, footsteps, or whatever you want to bring up. Like, all of those are still here in this game, yet I like this game unlike Modern Warfare 2019. And that's when I realized how important maps are for a Call of Duty game, and oh my gosh, does this show it more than anything, because even with a lot of those same issues that their previous game had, I think Modern Warfare 2 is just way better solely because of the humongous step forward Infinity Ward took in terms of map design. Yes, the maps in this game are just so much better. And I'm not even here to say that these maps are great maps. Most of them aren't even that, if we're being honest, but most of them are good or just solid maps. And that made me realize that that is what's most important about a Call of Duty game, just having good maps, and this game has that. And as long as you have good maps, it's much more easy to ignore the major problems with the game. And I mean, just look at the list of the maps that we got. Like, for me, my two favorite maps by far is Asylum and Asilo. Like, those two maps are just great maps in my opinion. But then there's a lot of other solid maps, whether it be Hydroelectric, Tark, Mercado Las Almas, Farm 18, or Crown Raceway. Like, all of those are really solid maps. And even for like the bad maps like Santa Cena Border Crossing and the Fortress map, like even those maps that I consider to be the bad maps, like if those were in Modern Warfare 2019, they'd probably be considered the good maps if we're being honest, because even those maps that I don't like too much are not dreadful to play. Like, I don't hate them, I just don't think they're that good. And this just shows how big of a step forward Infinity Ward has taken in terms of map design. They've just done so much better. And I think one of the things that I need to acknowledge more than anything is that they brought back good flow to their maps and good understanding of their maps. But at the same time, they didn't super dumb them down into simple 3-lane maps. And that's something that I think we need to give Infinity Ward credit for, because that is something that I didn't know was possible. And honestly, I'm just impressed by these maps that we got in Modern Warfare 2. And to me, this is the biggest reason for why I'm having so much more fun in this game than I have in a lot of the other Infinity Ward games. But even though that's the biggest reason why I think that this game has taken a step forward, it's not the only reason, because there is something else that I think that they've done really well in this game, and it's super underrated. And what that is the new attachment system. Because if you guys don't know, you no longer just level up a gun to like level 70 or something like that, and then you have all the attachments. Instead, you just level up a gun to level 20, 21, somewhere around there, and then you're done leveling up that gun. But at the same time, you don't actually get all the attachments for that gun once you level up to level 20, because how you actually unlock attachments is by leveling up guns that unlock that specific attachments. And once you unlock that attachment for that gun, it's available for all the other weapons that it's compatible with. And to me, this is so freaking cool, because this promotes variety in guns, and that's something that I thought I'd never ever see in a Call of Duty game. People using a variety of guns, like that is unheard of. Normally everyone just runs meta guns and that's it, but in this game I'm consistently seeing people on my team and on the other team using a bunch of different guns, and even myself, I finally feel like I don't have to use meta guns because not everybody else is, and I'm free to actually use a bunch of random guns, and that is something that I love so much about this game. Just seeing the variety of weapons, not everybody just focused on meta guns and just there to have a good time and not get pooped on if I'm not using a meta gun, and it has been an absolute blast so far. Now, unfortunately, I don't think this is going to last forever because eventually people will actually unlock the attachments they want for the meta guns, and then people will go back to that. But as for now, I'm just enjoying this because it's just been an absolute great experience. Now, of course, there's a lot of other smaller things that we could bring up that you really like about this game. Like, for one, for example, would be the score streak and kill streak system. You know, the fact that we get to choose between the two is just super cool. Like, absolutely love that. But I just don't think that this is what this video is for. It's just to tell you that it's a good experience. But I do want to acknowledge some of what I thought was really going to drag this game down, and things that I thought would be really bad for this game, but so far I haven't really had a major problem with them. And this starts off with skill-based matchmaking, because in the beta for this game I felt like it was so freaking strict. I was constantly in games where people were just like so sweaty, hopping around every corner, bunny hopping, even though that's been nerfed in this game so people can't bunny hop as much. But you know, there was just a lot of sweats and it was just a really big pain to play. But so far through the week that I've played this game so far, I really haven't had a problem with skill-based matchmaking. And I don't know if I just became a god at the game, I'm just better at anybody else, just kidding. But you know, I just don't know what it is, but I'm just like not really dealing with that. And it's weird because I'm seeing other people talk about it and they're saying like it's a really big problem, but for me it just hasn't been. So I don't know where that disconnect is coming from. Now, what's probably going to happen now is that now that I've mentioned this video, I jinxed myself. I'm going to jump back on the game and skill-based matchmaking is going to be super strict for me, but so far, as before recording this video, I haven't had a major problem with it. But that's not it, because another thing I thought would be a major problem with this game was the spawns, because this was my biggest problem with the beta, the spawn system. And it's true, the spawn system can be really bad, but it also can be really good. And the reason this is the case is because the problem with this spawn system is that it kind of just spawns you all around the map. It doesn't really have a consistent idea. And this is really bad for game modes like domination, team deathmatch, and you know, stuff where you expect to have two bases. There's the enemy side of the map and there's a friendly side of the map. Like, it doesn't work really well for game modes like that. But for game modes where the spawns are already jumping all around the place, like headquarters and hardpoint, like those game modes actually play really well. And if you guys haven't really played those too much, I kind of recommend you guys try out those game modes because the spawn system actually works well for those ones. So if you guys haven't, go try those out because that's what I've mainly been playing and I've been having a blast on those. And I know this isn't ideal, and the ideal situation would be that the spawn system would just work for all different game modes, which obviously that's what I want to happen, but I kind of just always gravitated to specific game modes and specific Call of Duty games because they always just play better in that game. So it honestly wouldn't bug me too much that for the whole season I'm almost exclusively playing hardpoint and headquarters, but I can imagine if those really aren't your type of modes that this would be a major problem. But at least so far for me, it really hasn't. And kind of to wrap it up with these things that I thought would be a problem but really haven't too far is actually the minimap thing. Yeah, the whole idea of red dots on the minimap, and don't get it twisted here, I 100% do not like the new minimap system at all. But I will have to say I haven't really noticed it as much of a problem because I almost constantly have a UAV up. And the reason this is the case is because Hardline's a crutch for me and I'm always using that. And with Hardline, the UAV is only 3 kills to get. And that's not that difficult for me to do, so I almost always have a UAV up, so I never really notice it too much. Like, I do notice it when I don't have a UAV up, and I do feel lost at that point, but since most of the time I do have a UAV up, I just don't notice it as much. So again, I'm not saying that this isn't a problem, but so far, just because I always have a UAV up, like, it just hasn't been that big of a problem thus far. But regardless though, that's kind of everything I really wanted to say about the game. And as you guys can tell, my overall experience has been pretty positive, and it's been super surprising because that's not what I expected. I expected to hate this game, but so far I've just been having fun, and that's more than I could have ever expected for this game. But regardless though, that's just what I think about it, and I'd love to get you guys involved in this, and go ahead and head down to the comment section and tell me exactly what you've been thinking about this multiplayer experience. Do you guys like it like me? Do you guys are feeling the same way, or do you guys disagree in some way and you're having some major problems with it or something like that? Let me know down in the comment section below. Regardless though, that's going to wrap it up for me. If you guys did enjoy the video, definitely do all the normal YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, bell, share, and all that great stuff. But I'm going to go catch you guys next stream, video, or whatever the heck it may be, and laters guys.